Well, good evening to everyone. It's good to see you all out there. I hope that everyone is hearing me all right before we get started with the music. All right. Well, I'm not going to say much because I'd rather just play music, and I don't usually speak coherently anyway. So, but I want to say thanks to Nick for inviting me to perform here. I hope this is fun. It's just me messing around with stuff in the studio. So anyway, I hope you sit back and enjoy. We'll see you on the other side. Well, okay then. That was fun. I hopefully did not make too much of a fool of myself. I was flailing around and stuff. Just bear in mind I'm an old fart. Anyway, looks like we had a very nice audience tonight. I'm seeing there's, gosh, I don't even know how on this website, Twitch, to see who's all in the room. But hello to everyone. There's a good number of listeners, viewers as well. So I hope that was fun for you, like it was for me. Let me tame the seagulls here. Yeah. Better. Okay. So yeah. So the one thing I wanted to add here is beyond thank you so much for listening and watching. I hope that it was fun for you too. It's Saturday night, you know, and I hope that was a good part of yours. So there was one person I was talking with who thought it might be a good idea to talk about gear, since there might be some gearheads in the room. Is that possible? Don't know. Let's see here. I want to make sure. Okay, good. People are seeing that the lights are on. Yes. So the one thing I can't do is control my cams. So I apologize. I will do my best to speak into the one that's live. But anyway, it goes on its own merry way. So let me talk. So I'm going to talk about everything that you heard tonight. I'll tell you which instruments and stuff were used and which were not. And we'll go through there. So let's just talk about the audio chain. It starts off with a mixer. Have a Mackie LM3204, which is a lovely, lovely line mixer. But don't even look dirty at the pots, because that will make them dirty and they'll start scratching. So the only thing I do not like about the Mackies, but other than that, I adore it. Let me turn that up a bit. Oh, there we go. Apologies. All right, so yeah. So that's the Mackie LM3204. The output, the bus reverb for it is the lovely Kurzweil Rumor. Anyway, I like it. So it's the bus verb. Other than that, the main output of the mixer goes to this graphic EQ from Art. Very nice, very simple. Then through this Aphex Dominator multi-band limiter, which I did not use tonight, but it is capable of squashing anything. I think it's a broadcast processor or something. Anyway, it's helpful when you're flying by the seat of your pants. Anyway, and then the output of that goes to my zone mixer, which is very simply 2 stereo ins, 5 stereo outs, 10 knobs, and you control how much of the in for each one of the 2 ins goes to any of the outs. And that's really all there is to it. It's a distribution mixer. Works great. I'm overloading things, excuse me. Okay, and that goes to the several zones. So there's the monitors, the headphones, the broadcast computer, which is not in play tonight, the video computer, which is in play tonight, and is what you're listening through. And then I have a little workspace I like to send audio to as well. And that's the whole of the audio chain. Now, everything else is just instruments that plug into the mixer. So, let's see, which ones should I'll just go left to right. Over here, the orange thing that you can't see right now because the camera is pointing in the wrong place, but you'll see it when it comes back around. This is a Waldorf Microwave XT. I'm original owner, and I will never part with it. It's a very fun and weird digital synth. It's awesome. I like it. Anyway, the output of it goes through this Lexicon effects unit. What is that? I can't see it. It's too dark. Anyway, it's a nice Lexicon unit. And then that goes to the mixer. And then this is, how to describe this instrument? Let's just say a very dear friend, her spirit lives on in this instrument. Let's just call it that. This is the Roland Phantom G7, which, other than this being an absolutely charmed instrument, kind of sucks ass. I'm sorry, it just does. Roland should be ashamed for walking away from it, because it's a mess. But this one actually is charmed, as I said, and it's really, really fun once you get into it and accept what it is and start using it to do weird things. So it's kind of fun. It goes through this Boss RC505 loop station, which is 5 parallel stereo loopers. Couldn't be much simpler. Output of that goes to this nice little TC electronic Nova delay and then into the mixer. Okay, continuing on. We have an Arturia Mini Brute 1, which I didn't use tonight. It is, however, hooked up to my Electron Analog 4 via CV, which I did use tonight. And one of these days I'll figure out how to make that work right. But anyway, in the meantime, the Analog 4 is a wonderful, wonderful synth, especially the Mark II with the improved distortion. It could not be described as a fat synth, I don't think, but it's a fun synth. I really adore that thing. Then I have a Dave Smith Evolver, which I did not use tonight. And next to that, I have the Electron Octatrack, possibly the most difficult thing I've ever had to learn. Anyway, it's a lot of fun. It's basically where the Analog 4 is for analog synths. That gives you 8 samplers. And you can do whatever you can think of with the same sequencer in each one. That's basically how it is. Then we up here, the red one, we have the Clavia Nord modular. It is hooked up to a Arturia key step, which, just like the XT, both were running various sequences. Oh, and behind me, excuse me, up above we have the Oberheim, actually Viscount OB12, which sounds nothing like an Oberheim, sounds nothing like an analog synthesizer. In fact, it's a thoroughly digital and exceptionally weird synthesizer. I love it. I mean, it's so much fun, it's so weird. Don't try to use it for anything that it's not, and you'll... Anyway, I really love it. I love that synth. And then below we have the mighty Kurzweil. Anyway, that's Kurzweil and I go way back. And both of these synths are going into, that's a Kurzweil PC3K. And, which is, I mean, I could talk about that one for half an hour, just how much fun it is, especially the ribbon. But anyway, and then we have both of those synths go through a pair of Surface Pros. One of them was a cast-off from my daughter, which does a perfectly good job as an FX processing unit. And the other I bought on some online market for like $75. Anyway, they make really good effects units. Then finally, turn off the EBow before I destroy the battery completely. We have a 8-string lap steel guitar, which I do not pretend to know how to play. But nevertheless, I like to mess with it and make it make weird sounds, and sometimes they almost sound like I know what I'm doing. And I think that's about it. All right. Well, let me see here before I think if I disconnect, the whole room shuts down, right, or something. So let me just see if there's anybody in the audience that say hello to. And if there's any questions, be you're welcome to ask. I want to say hi to Floyd, Huron Live, Ken Palmer, Pixelator, Ambient, hey Mike, SRTD4, Carl Fury, Dreamware. Wow, a lot of people are in here. Yeah, I'll have to scroll back. Like, I don't even know who's in the room right now. So I just want to say thank you to everyone who's in here. Let's see. Any question? What's that Nord device? Nord modular. Yes, that's an original Nord modular version 1. And I bought that a long time ago when those were actually for sale, brand new from Clavia or Clavia, however you say their name. Um, anyway, yeah, I love it. It's like having a whole wall of modular synth, but it's in the box, so you or sort of in the box. It's in its box, so you can you know pull up patches, which is the one thing that keeps me away from analog modulars. Honestly, it scares me. So, plus it's a bottomless pit. Anyway, as you might tell, I'm a gear hound too. It's a common problem. Anyway, yeah, there. Oh, some FX units over here too. I didn't even mention those. I've got a TC Electronic D2 that was processing the Clavia. I've got a TC Electronic M300, which is not used tonight. Oh, and the line mixer, and I don't want to talk about that. It goes into the other computer, which does, it's another exotic effects unit, and so forth. Okay, what is my tuning for the lap steel? I went to each string and I put a D on this keyboard, and I went to each string and I twisted them until it sounded good. So I have no idea what that tuning is. But I could strum it and have a credible chord if I so chose to do so. And then everything after that, I'm not going to lie, I don't know how to play the thing. I'm probably never going to learn to play the thing. But I am, with enough processing, I can make it make fun sounds. And that's, basically that is what a lap steel sounds like through an auto-tune like program. And then as using it as an audio controlled synthesizer as well. So it was kind of crazy. Anyway, what else we got here? What other questions? What's the little keyboard? Oh, I didn't mention those. Yeah, the little keyboard, that was a gift from my daughter. So it of course is a prominent part of my rig. Thank you, Weekles. Anyway, that is an Alesis V Mini, I think. Anyway, it's just a little USB thing. Very portable, very light, and you can it's got 4 knobs and 4 pads. It's actually kind of fun. And then the other MIDI controller is the Tactile Korg. And again, it's just a USB MIDI controller, no sounds. They both control my music computer, which I had various Arturia soft synths up and was playing those live as well. I think this is the DX7, and that was the ARP string machine, whatever that is. Let's see, are there other questions? And if this is dumb, Nick, let me know. we can end it, but I'm having fun. Let's see. Nick's wife wants to know if I know any nice songs. Oh yes, Robert Rich. Just go pick something at random. That will get you a nice song for sure. What other questions do we have? DAW of choice? Well, I use Reaper for studio, but that's what I think of as a DAW. Now, I do run Ableton on this computer and on the 2 effects units, but it's just being used as a live host, basically, for MIDI automation. I don't play any loops in it or anything like that. That generally when I'm playing live, I don't play loops there. I do make extensive use of loops in other ways, of course. But everything you heard tonight was me. So if there's loops, I played them. If whether or not you saw me play them or not, I played them. So, let's see what else we got. Oh yes, Reaper fans in the room. That's right. Yeah, I'm a refugee from Cakewalk. I started with Pro Audio something or other in 1990 something, and I played the upgrade game for a long time, and eventually just got tired of getting new plugins, so I just jumped ship to something else that looked fun. And I love Winamp, so I knew the guy who wrote that had to be something about audio. So anyway, tried it out and I liked it, so here we are. What Arturia soft synths? Yeah. Well, like I said, I think the little one is controlling the DX7. the Arturia, and then I think the upper one is controlling the Arpsolina. Yeah, that's it. Did I use the Boss 505? Yes. For all the loops that I recorded live, I used 505 for all of them. I don't. I'm working on looping in those things, but I'm having some unrelated challenges with MIDI controllers and stuff. Anyway, I'm working on it. So yeah, I mean, everything in the 505 was basically sounds coming out of the Phantom. So, you know, actually, I'm gonna say about the sound, because the sound has followed me everywhere I've gone. I bought it a long, long time ago. It is a set of samples of the Roland JX8P, 8P, and I just love this patch. So anyway, yeah. So you heard a lot of that. You always do. Yep, Arturia fans, or soft synth fan. I mean, Arturia is on a roll right now. I just have to say. I mean, you know, they're making some. They make great software. I know. You know, it's debatable how really close the emulations are, but on some of them they're spot on. Some of them, I don't know, but it doesn't matter. They're fun. I love them, and they sound good. And let's see. Boss 202. Yeah, I think is that the pedal one, or is that just the one that has like 3 channels on it? I don't remember. But anyway, I love this thing. There's just 2 things I wish it would do. And one is if it could chase MIDI without just wrecking the sound. It absolutely demands to be the master if you really want to use it without it introducing some ugly artifacts. So and I'm just not willing to allow it to do that. So I'd have it on its own clock, and it doesn't chase anyone. It just goes on its merry way, and I try to synchronize as best I can. Anyway, but the only other thing I really wish is, God, get double the size of these faders, please. They're only like an inch long. It's so hard. Anyway. What does Palancar stand for? So it's a reference to a coral reef off the coast of Cozumel, Mexico, the Palancar Reef, and I chose that because I had just my wife and I had just come back from a dive trip there, and I was enamored. So yeah, there you go. And every time I thought about changing the name, I couldn't come up with something better other than my own name, but no one wants to hear that. So anyway, I've stuck with the name over the years. So anyway, I'm Darrel Burgman. So anyway, all right. Well, I think some folks are starting to fall asleep. So I'm going to call it a night as well. Thanks for listening. Like I said, Nick, thank you so much for allowing me to play. I had a lot of fun. I hope this was a worthy addition to your huge panoply of videos that have come through Nick's Virtual Garage. So very cool. Thank you, Nick. Thank you, everyone, for listening. Y'all have a great evening.